born, my parents were delighted with my lovely black hair. "She's our little raven-haired beauty." That's what we should call her, Raven. My twin sister Megan was born minutes later with blonde hair just like Dad's. No one ever believed we were twins because we did not look alike. In fact, we were complete opposites in every way. We had a farm and I loved our simple life and I never complained a day. But Megan constantly threw tantrums when she didn't get what she wanted, which was often. Once when I was 7, Mom got me a new pair of sneakers when she saw how worn out my old ones were. But when Megan saw them, she went bananas. "I want a pair of sneakers right now. The ones I'm wearing are ugly and useless. I told you I needed new shoes every 3 weeks. Do you understand that? You're such a brat, Megan. You have so many pairs already." "You're such a brat. Me. I'm not talking to you. Mom, I need an answer." "We just bought you a new pair last month."
"I knew it. You love her more than me."
She threw such a fit that Mom got her an expensive pair of shoes just to shut her up. Life at the farm was amazing, but we were always short of money. To help, Mom picked up a job as a seamstress in the city, and she was really good. Watching her work was magic to my eyes, and she agreed to train me too. I would finally be able to pitch in and help them get some extra money. By the time I was 16, I was so good at stitching that my parents got me my own sewing machine. Megan was so jealous.
"You won't get me the Gucci dress I wanted while you spoil her with expensive gifts? This is so unfair."
Unlike you, I help Mom and Dad pay the bills, so either work or stop complaining.
"I hate my life. I deserve pretty things. One day when I'm rich and famous, I will never come back."
Seeing Mom's sad face, I felt awful. I had to do something that would make them both happy. I stayed up for 2 nights and made Megan an exact replica of the dress she wanted. It was perfect. When Megan saw it, she had no clue it was a fake.
"Oh, Mom, I love you."
A week later, Dad announced that we were shifting to Houston. We had to sell the farm because of money issues and join his brother's business instead. I loved my life here and I hated the idea of moving, but Megan couldn't get out of there fast enough. Dad's brother was a rich businessman who lived in a huge house with his daughter Sasha. We met her on the first day at school, and she seemed to be insanely popular. But to my surprise, everyone kept looking at me on my first day. I didn't know why, until several people came up to me and told me how pretty I was and how much they loved my black hair. Sasha was not happy. She came and slammed her locker shut next to mine, glaring at me. A word of advice? Don't let this attention get to your head. I'm the queen bee here. Good to know. I have to get to class.
My mom always wanted to have a pretty daughter, but instead, she gave birth to me, an ugly-looking girl with a really big and crooked nose. To make things worse, my mom lived in complete denial and convinced herself somehow that I was extremely gorgeous, and that I could become a supermodel one day if I just tried hard enough. That's why she forced me to wear makeup to school ever since I was in 1st grade. I can't tell you how awful it was, especially because the other girls in my class constantly made fun of it.
"She puts on makeup to look prettier than us."
Oops, someone should tell her that it didn't work.
"She still looks like Shrek."
Finally, I had enough of being bullied. I told my mom, "I don't want to wear your stupid makeup anymore. I hate it." "But sweetie, how are you ever going to find a husband if you look ugly? Don't you want to have kids one day?" She said that to me even though I was only 9 years old. I think her plan was to make me feel insecure and ugly, so I would put more effort into looking pretty. My mom's biggest obsession were beauty pageants after all. Once a month she would take me to another city, put me into a ridiculous-looking costume, and make me go on stage. I can't put into words how much I hated those competitions. The other mothers always stared at me with a face like, "What is this ugly girl doing on stage? Get her off." Meanwhile, my mom would scream as loud as she could, "Smile more! Smile more!" One time,
Chris and I were best friends since 1st grade. But only when I hit puberty did I start to have feelings for him. He was very handsome after all. And because I was too shy to confess my love, I gave him hidden signals. One time I went to his house wearing a super short miniskirt, long socks, and a belly-free top. I probably looked stupid with the red lipstick, but I wanted to see if he liked me. We played Xbox together, but he didn't check me out once. So I went one step further and said, maybe you can beat me in the game, but in real life, I'd beat you up easily. Prove it. I took his finger and I bent it as much as I could. He immediately fell on his knees in front of me, so I said, "Okay, tell me a few secrets. Who in the class do you have a crush on?" "I won't tell you that." "You must." "Okay, I really like Stacy." His words crushed me. What did Stacy have that I didn't? I said, "Oh yeah, she's beautiful." But I had to fight back tears. "Can you help me get a date with her? Maybe ask her if she likes me?" "Sure, I can do that." "Hey Stacy, what do you think of Chris?" "Oh, he's pretty handsome, but out of your league." "Oh, thank you for the compliment, but would you like to go on a date with him? How about Saturday?" "Oh, I would love to do that." And that's how I made them a couple. From the outside, they looked perfect. Both stunningly handsome, but I knew Stacy was a horrible person. She always exploited her classmate Lisa. She told her, "Do my homework and you can hang out with me and my friends." But when they met up, they would only make fun of her. And one time she made Lisa give her a cheat sheet during a math exam. The teacher noticed it and both got an F. Stacy was furious and blamed Lisa for it, calling her an idiot. She started crying and I asked, "Are you okay?" "I've worked so hard for the exam. This is not fair." "Just stop being friends with Stacy. She's exploiting you."
My dad was a cruel businessman who loved to torture his employees. His secretary once asked him if she could leave work earlier to pick up her sick daughter from school, but he responded, "Ha! Today you're gonna work overtime until midnight or you're fired. Now go back to work, you lazy bum." Afterward, he thought it was funny to make me, his 8-year-old daughter, fire a pregnant woman. "I'm sorry, but you can't work at this factory anymore. My dad says you have to find a new job." "No, please. Just give me one more chance. I have kids to feed." It was disturbing, especially when police stormed our mansion one night. They arrested Dad for burning down the factory of his biggest competitor. "Admit it. You set the fire." "Ha! Listen to me, you turd. You have no evidence against me. So let me go or I'll sue the hell out of you." He was also a cheater. He threw big parties at our house, invited beautiful models and made out with them right in front of my mom. I can't understand why she married a man like him. Dad was so hated that I needed security guards to pick me up from school. But at age 15, I got rebellious and secretly walked on my own to a friend's house. That's when I was yanked into a van by 2 masked men. It happened so fast, I didn't even have time to scream. "I'm sorry we gotta do this to you. Do you want some bottled water?" It was strange, but I immediately felt safe. He took me to—
Mummy, can I test your maths?
Go on then, but you know I'm not very good at maths.
What's 2 times 5?
A nice easy one. 10,
3 times 5?
15,
4 times 5?
20.
Thank you, Mummy.
Thank you. Thank you for what?
For doing my homework for me. That was nice and quick.
Susie!
This story is called Birthday. One day, a girl asked her dad, "What are you gonna get me for my birthday?" The father replied, "I don't know." Later that month, the girl fainted and was rushed to the hospital. The doctor came out and told her dad that she has a bad heart. When the girl was lying on the bed, she said, "Dad, have they told you I'm gonna die yet?" The father replied yes and left weeping. She said, "How can you be so sure?" He turned around and left. Her birthday came around where she started doing much better. She was so excited to go home and see her dad. When she went home, she read a letter that her dad had left. "My dearest daughter, if you're reading this, all went well. One day you asked me what I was giving you for your birthday. My present to you is my heart. Take care, my love. Never forget me." Her father donated his heart.
When I graduated high school at 12, I could have gone straight to college, but instead I took 2 years off and played video games. Eventually, my parents forced me to go to college, and I chose math as my major. I was still only 14 though, so again, I had no friends. To make things worse, I skipped most of my lectures, because it was easier to read my math textbook on the day before the exam than to listen to the lectures of my professors. So instead of working hard and developing self-discipline, I spent most of my time playing video games. However, I still got 95 to 100% of points each exam. When I graduated valedictorian, I almost felt ashamed of myself. Because even though I had a brilliant academic record, I had never put any effort into my studies. I was just lucky I was born smart. And because I've never worked hard in my life, I'm one of the laziest people on this planet.
This is a story on how some people broke into our house back in 2016. So my family and I were going to go out of town that weekend, and it all started when I was in my room packing my bags. I had about 1 to 2 suitcases in my closet, and I was thinking of how much stuff I should put in them. Until my older sister went in the living room, opened that window, went in the kitchen, opened that window, and from there went to my brother's room, then my room and her room and my dad's room to open the windows. I was kind of confused because she never opens any of the windows, only the one in her room. So I asked her why she had opened all the windows, and she said because the house was getting a little bit too hot, so she wanted some fresh air in here. So I of course brushed it off and didn't think much of it, and I continued to pack up my things. Then all you hear is, "Kids, I'm home," from my dad. And we had all ran to the kitchen because my dad had brought some food. I don't really remember the type of food he brought, but we're just gonna say he brought pizza. And we all got caught up in planning out what we're gonna do for the day, what to bring, what we're gonna eat. Also keep in mind this was a 4-hour drive. And we were already 3 hours in when we noticed